Hi, boys and girls. I hope you're doing good. I've got our last book in this series of The Importance of Determination. And I haven't completely read this story yet, but it looks really cute. It's called Galimoto, and it's written by Karen Lynn Williams and illustrated by Catherine Stock. A Galimoto is a toy car that kids make, and it's like a push car. And so, what do you notice about this character on the front cover and what he might be doing? And look at where he lives. So this is our last book, Galimoto. So there's a picture of the push toy. It looks more like a bike than a car to me, but that's what it is. It's a push toy that kids make in this village. Kondi opened an old shoebox and looked inside. These were his things. They belonged to him. Inside the box, there was a ball made of many old plastic bags, tightly wrapped with string. There was a knife Kondi had made from a piece of tin, and a dancing man he had made from dried cornstalk. In Kondi's box, there was also some scraps of wire. He had been saving the wires for something special. Now he took them and the knife from his box. See his box and where he lives? Do you notice that he lives in a village? This village is in Africa. I shall make a Galimoto, Kondi told his brother Ufulu. Ufulu laughed. A boy with only 7 years cannot make such a toy. You don't have enough wire. I will get enough wire, Kondi answered. Kondi took his knife and wire scrapes and went to the home of his friend Gift. I want your wires, Kondi told Gift. I'll give you my knife for them. Why do you want the wires? Gift asked. I want to make a Galimoto, Kondi answered. Gift ran his fingers over the tin knife. It is a good knife. I'll cut a dancing man with it. Gift took a handful of wires from his box of things and gave them to Kondi. That's not enough wire for a Galimoto, he told his friend. I will find enough wire, Kondi said. So I've noticed in all 5 of these books now that right away we can see the problem and then the determination the character has just by the things that they're saying. And even though they keep coming into obstacles, they keep overcoming each obstacle. Kondi put his wires into an old plastic bag and took them to the shop of his uncle. Good day, second son of my brother, his uncle greeted him. How can I help you? I want some wire, Kondi told his uncle. How will you pay for it? I have no money, Kondi answered, but you have wires on your old packing boxes from the city. They would make a fine Galimoto. So you want to make a Galimoto? The son of my brother is a clever boy. Take the wires. So I was just looking at this. This is the family shop. And when Alexi and I went on a trip to Jamaica, we were doing some volunteer work where we made a basketball court for an elementary school. And I told you about that before. And there was a little family store right down the road. And it reminds me a lot of this. It had a counter, it had food and some clothing, and people would gather there to visit each other and to buy little things. So there's a picture of that, of their family store. Chee, 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 chee. Kondi could hear the grinder at the flour mill. Many women with babies tied on their backs waited in the hot sun. Others arrived carrying heavy baskets of maize on their heads. Kondi squeezed through the crowd. He was very near the front door when someone grabbed him. The woman began yelling angrily, Stop that one! He goes out of turn. Kondi was being pushed and shoved. Sorry, there's a little glare on the book. There we go, that's better. Suddenly, the mill stopped its grinding. What is it? The miller shouted. The woman pointed at Kondi. Oh, no, Kondi said. I have no maize to grind. I only want wires for a galimoto. He opened his bag for them to see. Playthings, for this you keep us waiting? The woman grumbled angrily. One cannot eat wires. An old toothless woman shook her hand at Kondi. The miller shrugged. There are some wires out back. Take those and go. In the back of the mill there was an open door. Inside the door was a pile of old motor parts. There Condi found some very thin wires wrapped in a red and yellow-green plastic. I can scrape the coating off, Condi thought. These wires will hold my Galimoto together. Still, he did not have enough for a Galimoto. Condi passed some young children playing on an ant hill. One was Mude, the smaller sister of his friend Gift. She had a fine, long piece of wire which she stuck into the hard dirt. Little friend, Condi called as he came nearer, you cannot catch an ant that way. Go fetch some water, for with that and a stick we will fool them. When Monday came back, Condi poured the water around one of the holes. Now they will think the rains have begun, he explained. Then he stuck a stick down the hole, gently pulled it out, and on the end was a large ant. My stick is better than a wire for catching ants. You may have the stick, and I'll take the wire. Condi knew there was a trash heap behind the bicycle repair shop, but the gate was locked. Condi climbed over the fence. In the courtyard, he found some broken, bent spokes from a bicycle. He climbed back over the fence with his bag. Thief! Help! Police! Thief! Condi heard a voice call. Children came running from the marketplace. Men came running from the shops. They made a circle around Condi. Thief! Thief! They chanted, pointing at Condi. A policeman arrived. He grabbed Condi by the shoulder. What are you doing? He asked. Condi showed the policeman his wires. I want a Galimoto, he explained. I need these wires. Galimoto? The crowd murmured. Galimoto? They shook their heads and went back to their business. Take your wires and go, the policeman told Condi. Well, that was good, huh? That was a close call. Condi took his wires back to the shade of the red flame trees in his village. Nearby, his mother and sisters pounded their maize. They sang of the hard work they were doing. Condi sorted his wires. There were thick pieces and thin pieces. Some wires were long and some were short. Condi banged the bent and twisted ones with a stone to straighten them. Then he began. The thick wires made the frame. He wrapped the very thinnest wires at the joints to hold the Galimoto together. My Galimoto will be a pickup, Condi planned. It will carry maize to the city and it will have an antenna for the radio, he smiled. Condi worked all afternoon. He pounded the strongest wires around a pipe to make the round wheels. A sturdy piece of bamboo made the rod for the steering wheel. I was just looking at the pictures. Like here's the sister and the mom pounding the maize. They're hanging their clothes out to dry in the houses that they live in. Finally, the warm, toasty smell of maize porridge cooking over the village fires told Condi it was time to go home. His brothers and sisters admired his work. So you found enough wire, Ufulu said. Yes, Condi agreed. He parked his Galimoto next to his box of things and ate his supper. Let the moon be bright for us to play and sing tonight. Condi could hear his friends singing in the distance. They were calling him to play. Now he carefully guided his Galimoto over the dusty path. Galimoto, someone cheered, and one by one Condi's friends formed a line behind him. Eee! Galimoto, Galimoto, they began to chant. Oh, so there we go. See his little push card? Kondi saw the shadow of his Galimoto cast by the moonlight racing alongside. It's a fine Galimoto, he thought proudly. Perhaps tomorrow I shall make my Galimoto into an ambulance, or an airplane, or a helicopter. And there he is, the very last page, dreaming of his Galimoto and all the different things he could change it into. I like this story. This was a good story. I love it when we have stories from other countries. It just gives us an idea of what it's like for kids in other places. This boy did show a lot of determination, going to different places, finding wire, having to talk to adults, asking permission, or climbing the fence to get his wire. And then he brought it all back and worked very hard, and he was able to accomplish making his Galimoto. So, a great story. So, boys and girls, this is our last book of our series. Why is determination important? We have the worksheet that I would like you to turn in to me. It's the chart that has all 5 books across the top and then answering the questions below each book. You can turn it in, either email it to me or you can send it to me over Seesaw. There was also 2 more assignments. They are options if you would like to do them. One was interviewing family members. I think that one would be kind of fun to share maybe during a community circle or something, so we can learn about each other's families. And then the last one was how did the other characters help? I think it was the dinosaur one. You'll have to look on the assignments, but how did the other characters? Oh, yes, it was. How did the other characters help her become a ballerina? Okay, thanks, guys. I miss you. I'll see you soon. Any questions, let me know. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.